refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Razaban IFL TV proudly sponsored by Everlast. We are here in Birmingham. It is Birmingham, not Manchester. Ahead of Joshua Buatsi's return to Sky Sports. With me, promoter Ben Shalom. Ben, how are we?
Yeah, very well. Busy May and June, so great to get started. Obviously, been waiting for Buatsi for a long time. Only signed him 5-6 weeks ago and turned this one round quickly. And with Ben back as well. Ben Whittaker feels like a new signing. Lauren Price, British title. Tyler Denny, Okolie McGowan, great fight. Casey Benjamin, Sean McCoon must win. It's Midlands boxing, and it's been a long time coming. Forever it's been like Manchester, Liverpool, the North and the South, and the Midlands just gets missed. Like a lot of fighters come from here. There's a lot of talent here at the moment, and talent coming through is crazy. If you just look through the Olympians and the Olympian medalists and the ones also now coming through in the next cycle, a lot of talent in the Midlands, and even outside of that, loads and loads, and never had those sort of stars to build on. We hope Ben and Fraser will be headlining and superstars and selling out this arena, and so it's the first of many, 100%. And it's exciting. I've been speaking to John Pegg about it this morning. It feels like for the first time there's the key ingredients with talent, potential superstars, arenas, and the broadcast support to build something in the Midlands. And since Eubank Ben 1 was here, but I was there's not been much. There's, Matt Macklin was from here, didn't really fight here. You'd have to go back to Rob McCracken and things like that. It's crazy. Eggington fought here a couple of times, I think, but yeah, never to a real scale of what we see in Manchester and Liverpool. And yeah, I'm hoping that this is the start of many, and Mr. Whittaker and Fraser Clark can be headlining here for years to come.
Yeah, like you said, you got a stacked lineup of talent from the Midlands on this card. What was the purpose of putting someone like Joshua here when he's from South London?
You know what it was? We wanted to kickstart our Birmingham journey. We were hoping Fraser Clark would be on here as well, but he got that cut, so he's moved back. But Ben Whittaker is a massive part of our plans, and we want to build him. But just the talent in Birmingham all the way throughout the card, even on the stream for this one, you got Shakan Pitters against Joel McIntyre. You've got Jimmy First, who's doing the rematch against Corey Gibbs, who won our tournament. There's so many ticket sellers. There's so much talent here. We have fighters from here. We want to build here. And for Buatsi, it was 5-6 weeks. Let's turn this around quickly and put on a great fight, and it made sense, and it works well. And the main thing for Joshua Buatsi is headlining on Sky Sports, and he gets to do that very quickly. And activity is key, really. We can't wait around for the perfect day, the perfect this, the perfect that. For him, he's so frustrated. I can feel it when I'm sat there next to him. He's desperate to fight. He loves fighting, and just turn it around very quickly. And what a show we have.
I was going to touch on that. Over the last couple of years, Joshua hasn't been as active as he probably wanted to be due to many other different reasons outside the ring, injuries, etc. Is one of your goals to make sure that, one, he's active? When is he going to be due out next? And is it almost a must? He must step up immediately after this fight.
Yeah, without a doubt. But this is a proper fight. This guy has fought his way to number 4 in the IBF, is unbeaten, does come forward. You speak to KO Promotions, who we work with on the Babbage fight. We know them well. They're confident in the sense that Powell's been training for a massive fight for a long time, but Buatsi hasn't. He, as I say, 5-6 weeks ago we did the signing, and he's straight in. He's gone over to Virgil in the US, and then he's straight into a fight. Well, Steppen was going to fight Callum Smith. That got pulled very late on. He was obviously devastated, and he was ready for that big step up, that big fight. And then this came along. So we've got a real live opponent here. But yes, he wants to put on a statement. There is a lot of pressure on him. I really do feel like that. 12 months out the ring. But as a boxing fan, excitement, because that's what he brings. He's one of the most exciting fighters we have in this country. Every time he gets in the ring, I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to be part of it. And that's the most important thing. And that's what he'll be aiming to put on a big statement.
Another historic show, because you are having a woman, Lauren Price, fight in Babington for the British title. It's never happened in the sport of boxing. How did this come about, and is this going to go on throughout a lot of divisions where we have women's boxing?
It's amazing, but it's not. Look, the board have worked so hard, other promoters and what they've invested in women's boxing. It's crazy to think we even have the depth to be able to do this. Like when you're working as a promoter and you've got fighters like Caroline Dubois, Lauren Price, Carrie Sartinstall, obviously Savannah Marshall, Tasha Jonas, but the younger ones in particular that you're looking to develop, I can only imagine how much easier it is now than it was for Katie Taylor and it was for Tasha Jonas when they turned over, and that's a credit to the sport. And we actually are getting to the point where there is depth. Not exactly where it can be and will be in even 5 years, but there's starting to become depth in the sport. And the British title is such a historic thing in British boxing, it's such a major part of British boxing. It was only a matter of time. I think it's fitting that Lauren Price gets to do it, given what she's achieved and how much hope and anticipation there is for her career and what she can do. But also for Kirsty Babington, who we all know that comes game every time. He's going to come forward, he's going to create a massive atmosphere in there because she's from here as well. It's a great fight as well. It's a great British fight, and we don't usually get that. And for Lauren Price to take in her so early on in her career shows the intention. I think we're going to get to see the best of Lauren Price with someone that's going to put it on her. Really looking forward to the fight. But obviously, massive moment for British boxing, and it's not down to, we've pushed for it for a long time, but it's not down to me. It's down to everyone that's pushed the sport forwards, and it's culminated in a very special thing.
Ben Whittaker, does it almost feel like it's debut 2.0? Like he seems like he's been out for ages with injuries and taking time away. Do you need to rebuild him back up again? You know, his third fight, but is it activity again? Just like Buatsi, make sure Whittaker is now active throughout 2023.
Yeah, it's been frustrating for him, but also for us. Obviously for him more, but he's a massive part of who we are and what our plan is and where we want to go with the sport. And we didn't sign certain fighters so that we could sign Ben. We really believe in the power of what he can achieve. We think he's going to be headlining here. We think he's going to do things in this generation that probably no other star will do. He's extremely talented. He wants to move quickly. But the injury was devastating. So to have him back is a new signing. It's great to see. He's itching to get out there. He says he's 100% now. It was important not to take too many risks early on, and so he took the time, and that was important. But his debut in Bournemouth was something I'll never forget, and anyone that there will never forget. And that's the power of a star. And we're in for something special. Honestly, the ring walks, everything planned, what he wants to do. The fact he's in front of his home fans for the very first time, which will grow and grow and grow. He's massive in Wolverhampton and very, very close to the club. And we're looking at a serious superstar of British boxing. And it will be in Midlands where he builds his name. And delighted that he comes back.
I've heard tickets have gone very well. Spoke to Tyler Denny. I think he said he sold just over 500 tickets. So everyone's pulling their weight. Yeah,
ridiculous. Obviously, Buatsi is the only one not from here. The rest of the card, every fight is a Midlands contingent in it, and I think we've sold 6,000, which is incredible in our first show here. Incredible, especially with Ben Whittaker in his third fight, and Tyler Denny fighting for the first time for us here, and Lauren Price and everything. So it's gonna, honestly, I'm so excited for Birmingham and Midlands, because it is just untapped, it is just untouched, and it's going to be a very, very special night on Saturday night.
We look forward to it. Ben, just before I let you go, some other topics. Announced earlier this week, I think it was, Richard Riappel signs another extension and long-term deal with Boxer. You must be delighted.
Yeah, I think he was playing a little bit. I actually messaged him saying, "What are you doing?" He said, I was having a joke. Yeah, Richard, similar to Dan Aziz and certain fighters where you've been out for 18 months, 2 years, give them the activity and give them the opportunity, and he's been extremely impressive and I think devastating, and for me one of the most exciting figures in the cruiserweight division. The way he can just turn a fight like that, there's not many fighters that can do that. Like, he really can just change a fight, and he waits and he buys his time, and whether it's the 4th round, 5th round, 6th round, 7th round, he can end it like that, and I think he can do that at world level. That's what's so exciting. He spars with heavyweights, he trains with heavyweights, he mixes it with heavyweights. He will end up a heavyweight, but obviously with what's going on in the cruiserweight division and the fights for him this year, I can't wait. Can't wait. Proud of him from where he's come, and now he's ready. And you know what, with Richard, he was always playing catch up. He'd never had the amateur experience of Lawrence or even Billam Smith or any of these guys, he's learned his trade in the professional game in probably a lot in the last 2 years. Now he doesn't feel like there's any sort of experience gap. He's going to surprise a lot of people this year. I think he's, except for the world champions, he's the most dangerous one in the world. I really believe that.
When is he out again? And also, I heard a rumour or read an article about Gulamarian being potentially his next opponent.
That's what Richard wants. That's what we'll see. We'll announce something for Richard Riapo next week.
So I'm playing devil's advocate here. Richard Riapo goes in the ring with Gulamarian, hoping he beats him. Winner of Okolie Billam-Smith, I'm not going to pick, but winner of Okolie Billam-Smith will then unify against Richard. Is that the plan?
Look, a British unification at cruiserweight would be something very special. That's what Richard wants. We're going to try and make it happen. What says a lot to me is the fact that Richard Riapo wants to fight the best and is so supremely confident that he could take the biggest payday of his life and do. There's fights there that are on the plate for him, and he wants to seek out the hardest ones. And it's going to be a great year for him. But yeah, British unification would be a dream. Obviously, ifs, buts, and maybes have to happen, and everyone has to win. But yeah, it definitely can happen.
I know we're a couple of weeks away yet for your next show, which we'll speak about closer to the time, but I saw Lawrence Okolie put a post out saying that 13,000 tickets were already sold, so tickets are flying for Bournemouth. Yeah,
this, honestly, May and June's been ridiculous. This one sold so well, for first one in Birmingham. May 27th, it's pretty much sold out. From Chris Billam-Smith selling 2,000 tickets last July, the team, nothing to do with me, have just created this ridiculous infrastructure down there, worked extremely hard with a guy called Joe, down in Bournemouth, who's made everything happen, and the stadium and everything down to him. And then we just built this phenomenon in Chris Billam-Smith, where the team are so behind him, the football club is so behind him. 13,000 tickets went straight. We're trying to get an extension so it goes. We can go a bit further. But yeah, honestly, if you can get a ticket to May 27th, it's going to be something special. Outdoor for Billam-Smith, British world title, obviously Lawal Chamberlain on there as well, Pigford, Eggington. It's going to be a massive, massive night. Then we're into June 10th for Adam Azim in a for me, a really tough fight, sold out York Hall like that. And we wanted to do that because we want people to be able to say, I was at that time, Adam Azim fought at York Hall, this guy is going right to the top, he's going to be selling out stadiums at one point. That's how good we believe he is, and it's a massive step up. Whatever people say, McKenna Thompson, great fight as well on that card, and then we're into Smith Eubank and Cruz against Marshall. So May and June has just sold so well. I think it shows how good boxing is at the moment. So just be able to sell like this, to be able to sell here, May 27th sell, June 10th sell out. Eubank Smith, over 75% of the tickets went in 48 hours. You know, much better than the first fight. Really much better. So yeah, boxing's flying, and that's with other events on. And so many complaints around clashes and things, and yes, it's difficult, but when has boxing, let's be honest, when has boxing been this popular? I think it's incredible, and we're seeing it even more than even 12 months ago. I think if we put these shows on, do they sell as well? I'm not sure, but this May and June for us, Saturday, May 27th, June 10th, June 17th, just sold ridiculously well, and some unbelievable fights to look forward to as well.
Ben, any updates on Fabio Worley, Fraser Clark? I know obviously Fraser was due June 10th. Is he still fighting June 10th? Purse bids are going to be sometime soon as well. I'm not sure on the exact date, but what's the latest on that?
Yeah, we'll have news on Fraser shortly. Actually, he'll be here in Birmingham. It's a shame, as I say, he's not on this show. And then we'll see, in the next few days. But yeah, nothing moved as of yet.
I'm not sure if you read the article that came out a couple of days ago. Thomas Hauser made some comments about Anthony Joshua, saying that the best thing Anthony Joshua could do is retire from boxing. Are you for this? Are you for journalists saying statements and making statements like that? Are they allowed? Are we allowed to have these kind of opinions?
You know what? I think it's so admirable that Anthony Joshua even wants to continue boxing, despite the setbacks, despite the criticism, despite the life-changing money that he's earned. Why is he even doing it to himself? And that is admirable. That shows he loves the sport. That shows he still wants to prove something, and because he doesn't need to do it. So I think it's the complete opposite. I think all sense you would think he's going to retire. The fact that he's not, and the fact that he's going again, says a lot for me about his character and who he is, and that should be encouraged. And he's one of the biggest names in our sport. We're probably all here because of him. Unbelievable what he did for British boxing, and just the casual market that he opened up and the stadiums that he opened up. And for him to suggest that he should retire is ridiculous. I think we should be, as I say, grateful that he's not.
Ben, always a pleasure catching up. Yeah, roll on weigh in tomorrow, Saturday night, fight night. Yeah, look forward to a great night of boxing on Sky Sports.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
Ben Shalom, IFL TV, thank you very much.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,